Hello my friends, welcome to Home and Garden. Today I am going to show you all this beautiful Asiatic lily in my garden. Like this one here. I have also a lot that's planted on the front garden and I want to show you a different colors that I have in bloom at this time. So come on, enjoy and start the tour. So I'm going to start here on the slope garden area and I do have this Asiatic lily that's planted in here. This is actually the tiny orange sensation Asiatic lily. And I have also on this side, but here they're still under flower buds. And this is actually the yellow bloom. So this beautiful mix of the red, it's actually red in the middle. I'm going to show you a quick and close-up view on this one. And there's a orange in it, and there are in fully bloom. I'm going to walk with you as well. I'm going to the front yard garden, and I'll show you the dwarf lily that I use it as a border on the side of my driveway. So here, this is actually the entrance of my secret garden, and I have different plants that planted here. I have the rhodie, the hydrangea, and primroses and azalea in here. This is actually on the lower part of the backyard, and it's located on the slope garden next to actually all my flowering plants. And here I created this garden last year and planted all this lily. So this is actually new in my garden. I add all of this bulb like early spring, and look what they look like now, how bountiful blooms that I have at this time. And it's giving a colorful view on this side because of this Asiatic lily. And look at the color. Look at my hand and you'll see, compare it, how big is these petals. And there's a lot of flower blooms still, but we have to wait until maybe tomorrow or in 2 days everything's going to be blooming. So this video I actually going to show you, this one is just a glance on how all my lilies in my garden and where I planted them and how I mixed them with the other plant. And again, I am just really excited to show this to you because this one is fully bloom at this time. Majority of the lilies that planted in the yard, they're not in bloom yet, like this one. This is also the tiny Asiatic lily, but then they are yellow. So right now they're still in flower buds, but really soon I'm going to give you an update video to show you on how they look like. And actually I have this tag, and this is actually the tiny nugget Asiatic lily, and that's actually the color. It's yellow. I actually have a bundle of them that's blooming at the upper part of the front garden, so I'm gonna show you the actual flower, and that's what we're gonna check next. But before we go to the front garden, let me just show you the way that I created this garden. And again, this one is just an additional part of the backyard, and I call this one as my secret garden. And I have multiple of plants that planted that I move and propagate on this side. So here again is the Asiatic lily, the orange color. And this is like a mirror like when I did it, so it's like an entrance to come into the secret garden. So going to this side, the clematis is still blooming good. There's still a lot of flowers, purple flowers. So over here, I have all this border as the primroses border actually that I create, and this one here is the upright phlox, but they are actually light pink. And I actually propagate some of the bulb that I got from there on that bundle of the Asiatic lily, and also from here. So I actually propagate them and move them, some of the bulb in here. So I want to create like a border, so I'm doing it by height. So hopefully when I have more lily, I can do like add in between, like make it like on here and plant them around this rhodie. But for now, this is the only bulbs that I plant in here next to the bench sitting area, so you can enjoy when you're sitting here. I have this Asiatic lily, and I cannot wait for them to bloom, so I want to see on how they look like in this area. So I'm planning them to add some more on this side. So a quick glance on this flowering area, I actually add more Asiatic lily, and they are also the yellow one. And this side, it's really green. You can see all that bloom. I still have the hardy geranium still in bloom, and there, and some peony. So beautiful. So here I have mix of a lot of plants. So I actually create and plant them by height, which is the tallest one is the hydrangea, and then I have all the columbine fishes. They're done blooming. And in between the columbine, I add the Asiatic lilies, and again they're still in their flower buds. So I have an alternate Asiatic lily, columbine, Asiatic lily, and it's all the way there actually. So all of these are Asiatic lily. So you can propagate them before they will actually started to grow, like in the springtime, or even though after they done blooming. What you can do as well is like check the bulb. You can dig them and also check all the babies of the mother bulb, like this one here. After they bloom, after they're done actually, and it's almost like winter time, I'm gonna come here and start to propagate them, because you can see all of this, that's their babies. So I'm going to pick all of that and transfer and add more and use them as a border and add in between the other plants. So there's a lot of babies underneath. I'm gonna do another separate video when all these lilies are blooming. I just really want you to see some of the lilies, because some of them they don't really bloom at the same time, and I really don't want that. I want to enjoy and have a different plant blooming every week in my yard, and I don't want to like all of them are just blooming at the same time. So like this one, again, the one that I just showed to you, the orange Asiatic lily, I just want you to see and enjoy that. That's why I create this video and give you a glance of all the lilies that I have in my garden. This is all new in my flower bed garden and or flowering cut garden area. So I am going to show you also the other plant. I planted them, or the Asiatic lily, I planted them directly in the soil like this one, and also I have a lot that's planted also on the rose garden area, which is that's the tall, like about 6 feet tall, and I want to show you all of that later on as we walk and check all the lilies that I propagate and add them and planted them on the pots. So let's take a quick walk and checking all of them. And before we go to check out the rose garden area to show you how I plant them, they're not in bloom at this time, but here another glance. This one is also the lily, and more over here, and all of this extra are part of the baby bulbs. So I have here, and let's check it out, the other lilies on the other side of my garden. So walking here, this is still part of my flower cut garden, and I have some dahlias in here, and again this bundle here with a lot of flowering buds, that's all the lilies. Okay, this side is actually my vegetable garden area, and that big leaf is the figs, and I want to show you how I add the flowering plants with my vegetable plants. So here, this is actually planted underneath this grapevine. This is the grapevine, and I planted them together with this metal trellis, and I just add this one. The lily here is actually planted on these terracotta pots, and this one somebody just gave it to me, and it is a white and pink blooms. So again, I'm going to give you an updated video once every um, lily that I have here will bloom. So I just want to give you how I add them. This is actually the rhubarb, and they are really healthy. And mix them with some of the succulents, and that's the lily. Okay, so going out from this vegetable garden area, that's actually my old wheelbarrow with tons of strawberry. Just a quick look. Okay, let's go check it out. The lilies are planted in between the roses. So towards my rose garden area, in here I started to add some of the baby lilies. Actually, that bulb that I pick next to the mother plant lily, that's all the baby. And they're not gonna bloom at this time actually. Just add them in here, and hopefully they still ripe for next year and give us a plenty of bloom. So that's all my beautiful roses. And I just want to show you how I add lily with this roses in here. So what I did actually, again, I started to plant the bulb early, like about February of this year. We are now on June of 2023. So I have some lilies in between. They're not on bloom yet, but I just want to show you because this lily is actually white. They're like a big, the upright lily, and they bloom white. I didn't see them yet this year because I just planted them. That's all the bulb. I'm so excited to see them, and hopefully soon I can also create another video for you to see. And that's how I do here. So roses, I have actually azalea in the bottom. That's also part of my propagation. And then lily, roses again, azalea, lily. It's just a same pattern that I did. And hopefully the lilies will give me more of their baby bulbs so I can add some on the front garden. Okay, let's check the other lilies that I propagate and put them on the pots. And I actually add them together with the variety of plants. And that's what I'm going to show you next. So here, walking towards the center pathway of my garden, which is maybe if you watch my other video, this pathway is familiar to you now because I always like come and do a video on this side with different plants. So here I have a lot of brown pots actually, so they're all uniform color, but the plants, they're not uniform. I just like actually just use them as my propagation, and hopefully I can have extra time to redo. But right now we're just gonna enjoy all the blooms soon. So here I actually have the daylily. This is also the double bloom daylily, and there are orange as well. So this side, you see all the bulb. I don't remember what color. Maybe it might be either orange or yellow as well, or pink. So that's all planted on this brown pot. They're not the terracotta, they're just a plastic pot. So I have ferns, and here this one is actually my propagation. So when I dig all the mother bulb, the lilies, I separate the baby bulbs, and that's how they look like now. They're not going to bloom at this time. I just want them to start separating them because that's how I propagate the lilies. So once this one mature, I'm going to plant them directly on the ground, and again on this center or the secret garden area, I'm gonna create a round border of all the Asiatic lily in between the primroses. So on this side, this one is the upright lily, and they are really scented one. So here I add this lily last year as well too, and if I can find that separate picture that I can maybe attach to this video so you can see the actual bloom. But again, I'm gonna do a separate video of all the lilies that I have in my garden when they're all fully bloomed. But right now, some bloom, some are still under flower buds. So here, I planted here next to our patio in the backyard, and I'm just showing it to you. And I have more that's mixed with, like this is snapdragon, it's already done blooming. I have this lily as well. And also on this side, it's not a lot on here, but I'm just going to show you as well. This is a peace lily, and they're huge. They're big. So here, it's actually another part of the center garden and the backyard. I still have all this clematis that's still in blooming, and I have here, since we're talking about lilies, I'm just going to add this peace lily, and this is a very, very pure white. It's a pure white lily, and they are big. You see that beautiful foliage and that big flowers. Well, let's go back to the Asiatic lily. So here next to the clematis, I also have this upright, the tall lilies I planted here. They're still not in bloom. So hopefully you subscribe, hit your notification bell so you will be updated when I have that new video about the update of all my lilies in my garden. So actually towards this is the lawn. This is the center garden. And if this is your first time to see the video or my garden, so that's how it look like. A lot of them are done blooming already, and that's the clematis vine, also done blooming. I'm going to give you a quick peek in here. I have some plants. Oh, here I can see some flower buds of the lilies, and here is the actual look of the yellow one. There's a dot, that's not the dirt, it's just part of the petals, and that's actually like a burgundy. I don't know, some bugs are eating the flowers, but that's fine. And more flower buds in here. And I mix with this hostas and some of my propagation ice plant, and they're about to bloom as well. So that's how it looked like on this side, and I cannot wait to show you the blooms when they're all like bloom in here. Actually, just a quick glance of my roses so you can see it. I have also a video focusing with all my roses. Just check it out. So walking towards this area, this is the side garden plants that I have. This bush that you can see, that's the beauty bush. So they are very scented plant. But going back again to our main plant for this video, and this side that's the hostas, and here together with this geranium, I actually have all of this. Just add beauty in this pots later on. That's the red, dark red, actually dark red dwarf lily. They're still in the flower buds, but I just add them in here. Hopefully they will be doing good. This time I can see there's not much of the flower buds, but last year I do have a lot. So I just add them with this geranium. So when this geranium are done blooming, then I have an alternate plant that blooming also, and that's the Asiatic lily. I have some here as well. I only actually just have one on this pot. This is my side garden area, and that's actually towards the gate there. And this row of plants, the bushes that you can see, this is all actually my upright blocks. And I will also give you a tour for all the blocks that I have in my garden. So that's another dark red bloom lily. Okay, this is just a quick glance of the side garden of my front yard, and a majority of the plants are done blooming already. And here with the irises, I have actually just planted this year, and that's another lily. It's the tall one, and you're not gonna see too much bloom on my front yard anymore because they are done. But for you to enjoy it, I have all the separate videos of all the azalea, rhodie. I hope I can keep all of them. So in the front yard, this is actually the side garden or maybe as a side garden. This is the center, because I have a two levels part of the garden, on the front garden area, and this is the upper level. That pink one that you're looking right now is the mountain laurel. They are blooming so beautifully this time. That's a lot. Okay, going back to our main plant. Here I add the dwarf yellow lily, and on the bottom there's a lot of baby lilies actually. This is there's like a two-tone, as you can see, look. So it's a yellow, the other one in the backyard is the orange, and this is the yellow version, but they have the same pattern. They have actually like a, I don't know, it looks like a burgundy or magenta color, like a dot on the petals, but this one over here is darker. Can you see it? More flower buds. And that's how it looked like. Okay, next we'll check it out, the driveway area. I have plants. I made actually a dwarf, or planted the dwarf lily, but they are actually right now the one that's blooming are the pink one. So I do put a white lily and pink lily on the front yard garden area. So this is still part of my front yard, but I'm just giving you a quick glance so you can see and enjoy all this other plant. That pink one and red one is actually the azalea, and that's the closer look. Okay, let's check out in this side. So this is the upper level again of my front yard, and here and this side of my garden I also add the pit lily. There's no bloom at this time, and hibiscus. There is my other lilies, and look at this color. Isn't it beautiful? Oh wow, the middle is actually like dark orange, and then it looks like red in here, and that's beautiful. So I also have the upright, the tall lily, and this lily is my favorite, and I cannot wait for them to bloom so I can show it to you and showcase all these beautiful blooms, and you're gonna like it. The color of this lily is actually same color as the bistro table and chairs over here. That's why I paint them like that, because I was inspired for the color and the color of these lilies in front. So I also paint my front door. I have a double door on my front door, and that's the color that I paint as well because of these lilies. So they are beautiful. They're really, really pretty. Okay, so that's the far view of the upper level actually. And this one, I have pathway here to go towards all this pathway towards the side and going to the other side of my garden towards the backyard. So here's another pathway when you are checking the other plants here. So this is the view. So you see all these lilies I planted over here, and I also planted some in here, and it looks like at this time they're not, I don't know, hopefully they survive. I can check the bulbs, they're smaller compared to the big ones, so hopefully they will survive. I'm not sure what's going on in this time, but last year they are really fully bloom and they are so beautiful. So well, this is the red one, and together with that is also the red one, and this is the upper level of my front yard garden. And let's check the bottom level of my garden, my front yard garden, and I want to showcase to you and show to you all the dwarf lily that's really on bloom right this time. Okay, so this is actually my driveway already. I have a stairs in here towards to the driveway, and this is the upper level I'm standing right now, and this is the full view of the side of the driveway. And as you can see, the retaining wall from here to that almost to the end of the driveway already all of this, you're not gonna see this one right now, but there's a pink color that you're looking right now. That's all my lilies. So I use them from here all the way to the front area, or the border of the dwarf or the tiny lilies. Right now the ones that blooming are the pink one, but there's white, and also the upright one is the like a peach color. And let's check them out, and I'll give you a close-up look. Say, walking towards the driveway. So let's start from here. You see now, that's a close-up look. That's the Asiatic lily. So that's how I use them as a border, because they are actually the smallest in this area. So I have the irishes, I have the hellebores, they are also done blooming. So pay attention on how I plant the dwarf lilies. So they have a flower buds already, and some of them, they are fully bloomed, and look how beautiful they are. Can you see the colors? They are light, or almost like dark pink and peach color. That's a lot of flower buds. And here are still the other leaves. So I alternate this color and the white one, which is not on bloom right now. And also here, the tall one is actually the peach color. They're not also in bloom. And I'm going to showcase that and show you how much bloom that they have at this time, and how much flower buds that's still going to bloom soon. But look, this is the mature lily flower already. So they started with that color, darker pink, and they become, looks like a purple, and then all the petals are just on the ground. They're beautiful, right? Okay, I'm just gonna walk and give you and show you how I add them. So this is again the hellebores that's done blooming, and then I put all these beautiful lilies, and then more here, and then there, and here, and then I have fern, rhodie, the big bush, and then this beautiful hostas, big leaf. It's actually bigger than my hand, and more lilies. They're not blooming yet. And then more lily here, the upright one, the tall one, and more of them that I planted along the driveway. And more upright here. So this is the far view of my side garden on the front area next to the driveway. And that's how the lily looks like. Okay, my friends, so that's the end of our tour for all this beautiful Asiatic lily. And I hope you continue to subscribe and hit your notification bell, so you will be updated to all my new videos, and especially when I have the new videos for this beautiful lilies. So I'll see you on my next video. You take care.